up, y'all? This is a video that I was gonna do. I want to do it for like a month now. It's a TNA video, so TNA haters, go away. It's about the man who's better than Daniel Bryan, okay, and that's the man known as Eric Young, aka EY. You know what I'm saying? Now, Eric Young is actually one of my favorite acts in TNA right now. His character is absolutely amazing, man. And the thing about him is he's like Abyss. He can portray any character that they give him. He's mostly like a comedy character, but now he's like he turned to the dark side. It's like Abyss, Joseph Park. It's the same dude, but the characters are so separate, like you wouldn't even know it's the same guy because the acting ability is so amazing, man. And he can portray any character he gets, just like Eric Young can. Now, Eric Young is one of the TNA originals. He was actually there when I started watching. My first episode of Impact was actually the first episode of Impact. And he was in the first match. He was the spot monkey in Team Canada, so he was like the Seth Rollins. He would always take the bumps and do all the crazy high spots and stuff. He was an incredible wrestler. And then he had this gimmick. They changed him. They tweaked him up. He had a paranoia gimmick that he did awesome. That was like his most well-known gimmick. His character was it was a South Park-based character. He was based on Butters and Tweak. That's what he was based off as, like. And I didn't know he had that in him, but he did that paranoia thing like so good, you know. And then I'm trying to move so you don't see the light. He had this feud with Bobby Roode that was like a year long, where he was with Miss Brooks and stuff. And then he had to try to get free from Robert Roode. And then when he was free from him, he had to, he was in this feud with James Storm, where they was drinking beer, and there was a beer drinking championship, and the beer drinking championship was actually a parody of John Cena's spinner belt because Cena was the top guy at the time. And yeah, it was funny. He spun the bottle and all that. It was funny. And then of course he was after that he was Super Eric, and he had the Prince Justice Brotherhood with Stone Cold Shark Boy and Kuriman. I thought that was funny. It was funny, man. I mean, come on. And then he had this, after that, he broke out of his shell. So he portrayed a lot of characters during his time with TNA. A lot of guys backstage that are there now or used to work there said that Eric Young is a good sport and does pretty much anything the company asks of him. When he dropped the Super Eric thing, he did this thing where he broke out of his shell. And he wasn't going to be a coward or, don't fire Eric. He wasn't going to do that anymore. So he joined the TNA frontline to fight off the Main Event Mafia. But then he turned on them and he formed his own group called the World Elite. He shaved his head. And it was really awesome to see him go from a paranoia guy, a paranoid dude, to a crazy guy with a bald head and a suit leading a group of international wrestlers. I liked the World Elite, man. That was cool. And then he brought credibility to a title because he was the global champion. And part of the gimmick was he was like, this is the global championship. I will not defend this belt in American soil. And he wrestled Hamada. He wrestled international talent that was brought in. And they had a lot of international talent too. They had Tanahashi there. Yeah, he was awesome. He could turn any character and he could turn it on like this. No. I'm doing a video. 1 second. Yeah, go away. Yeah, man. Sorry. My wife is being retarded. So yeah, Eric Young. After the global title thing, the one thing I didn't like that he did was there was a stupid time when he was at the right place at the right time, or the wrong place at the wrong time, I should say. And he was in and out of the band, and he was teaming with the band and fighting the band, and I didn't like that, but Um, when that was over, he had a match on Explosion with Suicide, where Suicide dropped him on his head. So it was like a storyline. He recovered from that, and then he had like this gimmick where he was, a mentally challenged person. He was like retarded, and he brought back like the instead of being paranoid and don't fire Eric and being a coward, he was like a special needs person. He was like Kramer, and then he had this tag team with Orlando Jordan, where Orlando was by, and Orlando was like trying to make the moves on him, but he's just simpleton. He doesn't understand it. That jump was funny, man. And then Eric Young was put with ODB, and he had this fisherman gimmick because he was on the show where he was a fisherman, and he is a fisherman in his real life, but he was in his tag team with ODB where he was the husband and she was the wife, and it was funny. She'd always be like, "You better get me my chicken and beer, boy," and then like they get married and they take off their clothes and shit. He's got pulling his pants down. He's got a thong, and she's got like a bra and panties. And then when they're about to get married, the Mexican American women come out like shaking their asses, and he's like, Eric Young's like, he got a stiffy in the ring, and then they put him with Abyss and Joseph Park. Now his tag team with Abyss was a crazy tag team, but they were better than Team Hell No. His tag team with Joseph Park was epic because they worked well. They fit like a glove. People wanted them to be tag team champions, and it was cool. Like they were like two guys that were kind of cowardly, but it was a comedy team. I remember on the road to Bound for Glory, there was a video series of videos with Joseph Park and Eric Young going to Bound for Glory. They're on the road, like they're driving to the arena. They're picking up food. They're picking up women. It's funny, man. That was hardcore, man. And then he had this. After that, he was in a gauntlet, and he won the right to face champion Magnus at a pay per view. But he said, "I want my title shot tonight." And I remember watching that with my brother, and I'm like, "Yo, this show's live. Watch him fucking win, bro. Watch him win." And then in the live show, like in the main event, he's fighting Magnus for the championship. And the match is alive, remember, and it's got a little bit more storytelling than the usual title matches. So I'm like, oh shit, man. And then Eric Young wins the title, which I thought was a good moment because I watched him for over 10 years, and to see that like was amazing. That's kind of how I felt when James Storm and Bobby Roode won the title for the first time. Many people say it was a ripoff of the Daniel Bryan story. Whether it was or wasn't, it doesn't matter because almost every TNA fan wanted Eric Young to win the championship. All of them did that night anyway. Nobody or their mother wanted Daniel Bryan to win the title. And the story of Eric Young was done better, in my opinion. EY is better than D-Bry. So yeah, he was a good world champion. He had this feud with MVP, and it was somewhat where he was using his power to, like, he was abusing his power. He had Kenny King and Bobby Lashley beating on Eric every week. And then Eric, he lost the title to Lashley. But this year though, that's what I'm talking about. He turned to the dark side, man. He turned on Bobby Roode. He teamed up with the Beatdown Clan, and now he's got like this crazy character where he's like he shaved his head, he changed his music. He's got it like a new ring gear. He's got a new character. He's a psychopath. And he'll go after anyone, man. He had a great series of matches with Bobby Roode recently. This match with Bobby Roode, like in England, in lockdown, were very good. And then he's like going after everybody, man. He wants the world title, man. He beat the crap out of the champion Angle. He was like, mine, 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 mine. Like, he's completely lost his mind, man. And honestly, I want Angle to run with the belt for a while because he's a long reigning champion. And he's having matches of the year every single week. He defends his belt every other week. But I'm definitely for Eric Young being the champion when Angle's done. I mean, this guy could be the next top heel. MVP and EC3's time will come. But right now it's EY's time. And I support him. I'm for Eric Young, EY, the Psycho, being the new TNA World Champion when Angle was done. His new character is interesting, and it's one of my favorite acts on the show right now. So I support. It looks like they're gonna have him feud with Angle now. I support that. His character is cooler than anything in WWE. The only thing close to him in WWE is Sheamus, but Sheamus's character is fresh, and Eric Young has been doing this since the year started. So yeah, I'm for EY when Angle's run is over. I hope Angle has a good one, but for now, uh, I'm gonna watch and see where the feud plays out. But hopefully, at the end of the day, it'll lead to Eric Young, the next top heel of TNA, being new world heavyweight champion. Woo! EY, blood and fire. Eric Young, the next TNA World Heavyweight Champion.